I'm not moaning, but it's a mad time right now. It's mad. So I've come off antidepressants. As you know, I've been sort of weaning myself off them, and a week ago I fully stopped taking antidepressants, sertraline. So basically I'm feeling all the human emotions and feelings super strong. I'm getting really angry, and like washing up can be something that involves smashing things. I think it was Sunday night, I was washing up, I was hoovering, and I ended up like throwing things around like an idiot, like just raging. And I felt so stupid afterwards, but I lost my temper. I got super angry, then I was washing up, and then like I was like smashing cups, and like I broke a plate and I broke a cup, and then I dropped a glass by accident, and then like I'm doing stupid things, like I forgot my wallet with my lorry card in it the other morning, so I went back in and I was like stomping up the stairs, and I don't take my boots inside because I've got like tar on the bottom of them, and that's obviously something you don't want in your house on your carpets. But I stomped into their flat and I was like, whoa, I got my wallet, and then I was like, oh, I've got tarmac on the floor, and I started hoovering the floor, and then I was like stomping outside, and then I kicked the step, and then obviously I've got steel toe caps, so I bruised my toe. I'm getting super sad. I'm watching like cartoons, and then I'll start crying for no reason. I'll just be crying, or you know, I'm just crying at the slightest thing. This morning I started crying. It's just mad, super strong like emotions. The other thing is I'm ridiculously horny. The horn monster has taken over, and I'm just like, I mean, it's not a problem. It's just me and my cat at home, and I don't take it out on the cat. So it's just, yeah, so it doesn't matter. It's not affecting anyone. Hey, how you doing, kids? You okay? What up? How are you? You good? Hope you're alright. Hope you're well. Welcome to episode 14 of the Tars Henry Channel Show. Not the Tars Henry Channel Show, cheeky check-in. The Tars Henry Channel Show. I'm very excited to have you here. Thanks for coming. It's been a while. It's actually been since the 29th of October 2023. It's now the 17th of February 2024. So that is just shy of 4 months. That's a long time. It's lovely to be back. So it was episode 12 of the Tars Henry Channel Show, where I was talking about coming off antidepressants. I didn't recognise all the time what was going on. It was very subtle. The withdrawals of sertraline, I became very negative. I became resentful to people around me, or increasingly resentful, you know, more resentful than I normally am. Normally I've got sort of simmering resentment of everybody around me, you know, sort of hate everybody and everything about this much, you know, maybe about this much, and then without the antidepressants it's about this much. You know, so then, you know, I was instead of sort of kicking people down the stairs, which is what I'm about this, I was sort of like stabbing people and stuff like. No, I'm joking. It's not a very funny joke. I don't know why I just said that. But I've never stabbed anybody or kicked anybody down the stairs, I'm quite pleased to say. I'm not saying I've never hurt anybody on purpose and repeatedly. I've got a brother. I've got 2 brothers, and I've got a sister. You know, and I believe in equality, so I've hurt them all a lot over the years. But I would say it was fair. It was fair. Anyway, let's not get into that. Brothers and sisters, it's a whole other thing. We all love each other very much, actually. All 4 of us get along famously, so it's good. We do laugh if each other gets hurt. We do laugh. If one of us was to say soil oneself, we would all find that very funny. I miss them. And here's a shout out to all three of you. Love you lot. Anyway, in episode 12 of the Task Henry Chandler Show, I started to come off antidepressants. Basically, the doctor said go from 100 milligrams down to 50, and then after 6 weeks try 0, but come back first. What I did is I went from 100 milligrams to 50, and then I didn't go back to the doctor because I couldn't be asked, and I sort of knew what the crack was. I didn't come off them completely because I know that I tend to be more anxious and depressed and stuff around Christmas and the New Year. So at Christmas, I started snapping the tablets in half, the 50 milligram tablets, snapped them in half, started taking 25 milligrams of sertraline every day, a quarter of the dose, and then 2 weeks ago roughly, I started to feel the zaps, and which I got one a minute ago actually when I looked that way. Basically, it's sort of a zzz in my head. I've talked about them before. It's called the zaps. It's a thing, Google it. And anyway, as soon as the zaps kicked in, I thought, oh, here we go again. And then I thought, oh God, and then, like 2 months later, I'm gonna go down to 0 milligrams from 25, and it's gonna happen all over again. So I thought, fuck it. That's it, I'm not taking any more. I'm stopping right now, and this is the last time I have to go through this. And I already knew I was well under the doctor's parameters. He said quit at 50, go from 50 to 0. So I thought, right, 25 to 0, boom. And that's what I've done, and I'm sticking to it. It's been, say, 2 weeks, and now I've got the zaps. I feel a bit dizzy sometimes if I move too fast. It doesn't affect my driving, by the way, if you're worried about that. Right, so that's we'll put that to one side. That topic goes to one side. Another thing going into this video I would like you to be aware of is that one of the things that, probably the main thing that has actually helped me in my whole life, since my mid-20s, since literally being 25 years old, was when I got into self-help books because there wasn't a lot of help really. Even in 2007, talking about anxiety and depression, even then there wasn't anything like as much societal cultural awareness and acceptance of mental health issues as there is now. So in 2007, I was largely on my own amongst my friends and family, even though everyone's fucking insane. Everybody's mental. Everyone, you're insane. You little mental bugger. You're crazy. Look at you. You're mental. You're absolutely mental. But anyway, I got into, first of all, got into these self-help books. Then I discovered Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. And I got into Alan Watts, Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, and Jed McKenna. All of those 4 authors are the ones that I read. There's a lot more, probably countless spiritual teachers out there, but all of those 4 people taught me about spirituality, non-religious spiritual philosophy. Science and philosophy were kind of the same thing. Science was philosophy back in the day. There wasn't really much of a separation between the meanings of those words. So it's kind of the science of reality in terms of ancient and older wisdom and ways of thinking. Alan Watts and Nisargadatta Maharaj, their teachings are very based on Eastern thought. And then Jed McKenna, he talks about things like Moby Dick and stuff like that, but he also talks about the Bhagavad Gita, and then a lot of it basically comes from Eastern thought. And what happened is I read all of these books over and over, and I didn't really meditate. I didn't start doing yoga, which finally I'm getting around to those things now. But at the time I would sit and I'd read these books, and as I was reading it, I'd be doing it as I was reading it. I would get into this zone where I was essentially listening to a teacher and trying to feel the things that I was being told. And over time, I developed a deep understanding of the principles of Eastern non-religious spiritual philosophy, and it changed my life, and it was wonderful. All the time from being about 19 to being about 25, I was desperate for a kind of manual on how to be a human being and what is going on, and how is it that people seem to know what they're doing, and how is it people take everything so seriously, but apparently we're not meant to. I just didn't understand how the context for being here in the first place. And that is what spiritual philosophy can give you. It can give you the background, the context. It's like the foreword in the book of life. It's like what you should have been told right at the beginning. So basically, these things that I learned really helped me to have a context with which, a frame within which to be alive within, and my anxiety subsided, and I started to know myself more. I started to become more mindful, and that's another thing. The whole mindfulness, the wave of mindfulness that's happened in our culture. Mindfulness, this is presence. This is being aware of your awareness. This is feeling your feet. It's presence. It's what Eckhart Tolle calls presence. It's awareness of your awareness. The things about spiritual philosophy that I feel that I know more about is the actual existence of the now, and mindfulness and presence. The other parts of spirituality which I'm less aware of and less knowledgeable about in terms of literature are the kind of I'm very wary of the whole manifestation kind of thing, and the secret thing that's very problematic. So the whole kind of ask the universe to give you stuff and things like that, I'm on the fence about that stuff. I'm open, I'm learning stuff. There does seem to be some elements of that sort of thing going on. We'll see. In spiritual circles, in poetry and in art and in films, so it probably does echo real life, and even in my own experience, things seem to get worse before they get better. Just before things start to get really good, you get challenged. And I feel like over the last few months, I felt like things have been escalating and collapsing and crumbling a bit in certain ways, and it feels a bit like life is going to change, and I'm at the end of one chapter of my life. It's falling apart because a new chapter is about to begin. That's basically what I feel like. It feels like the end of one chapter and the start of a new chapter, and necessarily lots of things are falling apart and going wrong, but it really does feel like things are about to get good for me, and I hope that's true. And maybe it's true for a lot of you out there. I don't know, maybe you feel the same. If you do, get in touch, because it would just be great to hear from you. All right. Come here, you. Come on. Let's give you a cuddle.
Henry Channel Show.
So it's crazy. I'm a little bit heartbroken. I'm heartbroken because there's a thing that's happened with somebody, and but I might talk about that another time, but I'm not talking about it now. So I'm heartbroken. It's shit. So I'm coming off antidepressants. I'm sad. I'm heartbroken. I'm horny. I'm angry. And then I was going to go to a funeral last week. I'll just cut in there. I was about to set off on this funeral, but on the morning of the funeral, my car didn't start and the battery basically died. So although my car passed its MOT the other week, the first journey after driving it home, the first journey I needed it for, the battery stopped working. And then I couldn't jump start it, and I needed to get a new battery for my car, which was shit. I've got a shoulder impingement, so I was working out and everything, and I can't work out because I've got this impingement in my shoulder. So I'm going to the osteopath today. This morning I So I've got I've got these really rubbish work boots that just, they've got no grip on at all, and I slipped in when I was just going to collect some tarmac. I slipped, I banged my shin on a metal step, then I fell over and I slammed my phone face down into a metal grill, and I've broken the screen on my phone, and I've really bruised my hand, and it feels like I might have broken a bone in my hand. It just hurts all the time. And so I was like, oh, I'm fine. The guy was like, are you all right? Are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry. I'm fine. And I was just driving off, and I was just like crying and angry. And yeah, there's a lot going on. Today I got out of my lorry and I sank up to my shins in mud. It literally was like bloop, and then went all in my socks. So my socks have been drying on the dashboard. There's my muddy, disgusting little kitten socks drying on the dashboard. I had to wash the mud guard on the floor, the foot mat on the floor. I had to wash that in a puddle, had to wash my boots in a puddle. Muddy step, muddy boots. Just imagine how rank that is. That is rank. My feet are in there. Well, one foot is in there. And there is like bits of sand, bits of dirt, tiny stones which I couldn't get out, and it's all damp. This whole boot is damp, so my feet, I've got no socks on, my boots are wet, and they're full of, there's just shit in my boots, and it's horrible. I think there's more things that have gone wrong and that I just can't remember right now, but anyway, that's quite a lot of things. There's quite a lot of things. Things are just mental at the moment. I feel like it's the thing where everything goes wrong intuitively, spiritually. It feels like that kind of thing where things are all going wrong just before everything gets amazing. So I'm hoping that this is because my life is about to get amazing. That's what I'm hoping. Because otherwise, my life is going to shit for no reason. Everything doesn't have to be for a reason. I know lots of people's lives are going to shit right now. And I've got a lot to be thankful for, and I've got a lot to be grateful for, and I am very grateful. But things really are quite difficult. And emotionally, I'm all over the place. My heart's all over the place. I'm a mess. I'm just struggling. I'm struggling. So that's what's going on in my life, and it's mental. But I'm going to keeping on. I'm gonna not going back on antidepressants. I want to really feel my feelings and my emotions, and I think there's a kind of depth to the quality of my spiritual presence that was being masked somewhat by the sertraline. There was this moment I had when I was really sad before I started taking sertraline, and I was in a teaching assistant. I remember sitting in this classroom, and I was really sad, but the sunlight was coming in through the window, and you know when the sunlight's coming through the window and it feels like it's almost like it was going through my hand. My hand was like transparent to the sunlight coming through the window, and everything felt sort of beautiful in a way. And I remember thinking, I don't want to lose this. I felt so present, so sharply present, and all of the awareness and feelings that go along with that. Yeah. And I don't know if I did, I think I did lose that somewhat. And it didn't make me impotent, which apparently sometimes antidepressants can do, but I wasn't 100%. I haven't been 100% in sort of sexy feelings. I've not been 100% really for the last 5 years since I've been on that. But my life improved a lot, so I wouldn't ever say don't take sertraline or take it. I would never recommend it or not recommend it to anybody, but because I know it's different to everybody, but it affected me in some ways that are, for me, mean that I don't want to take it long term. But I think it may be that the partly why I was able to overcome my procrastination and just focus on getting my album done. Maybe my whole life has got better in the 5 years since I've been taking sertraline. I hadn't previously put it down to the sertraline. I'd given myself the credit for that, which I should, because it was me that did all that stuff. But you know, I've changed my career. I've got a lorry license. I've got my own place that I live in. I look after a cat, and the cat's still there, it's still alive, and she's happy. I've been told I'm a good owner by the vet. Yeah, and I've finished my album, which is huge. It's hugely important to me. I've started to actually like who I am, and I've started to be a person who I like, and I've sort of confronted myself in ways that I didn't know I needed to, and I've sort of healed a lot of my childhood. My inner child I'm a better parent to my inner child. I've started meditating. I've started focusing and doing the things that I know I should do, that I really want to do, that I've started living in a way that reflects my values better, that better reflects my values. So that's really good, and I think some of it has come down to the kind of level-headedness that sertraline afforded me. But I can't be on that stuff. I need to feel as real as I can. I need to be present, and I want the full spectrum of emotions to be available to me. But I won't forget the lessons that it's taught me. If it's taught me anything, I won't let lose sight of the positive changes that I've developed over the last 5 years. I'm going to hold on to them. But I need to come off sertraline. But it's just really challenging, and I've got 18 weeks to do my album, to finish it off, making it, not all the artwork and everything. And yeah, but I just feel like everything has gone absolutely mad. And I was literally saying the other day, I feel like, I was saying on camera, because I was going to put it on my show, I feel like something really bad is going to happen, or like I'm going to lose my job or something. And then literally this morning, I fell over and smashed my phone, and I feel like I might have broken my hand. So anyway, it's just crazy. Life is crazy right now, but I'm hanging on in there. I'm hanging in there. And yeah, I'm hanging in there. And I hope you're hanging in there too. Hang in there. We're all here. We're all here. And really, there's a lot of, we feel like we're separate. We feel like we're on our own. Well, you might do, I do. You feel like you're on your own. You feel like there's no one there to help you. You haven't got anyone. I'm projecting a bit there. But friends are just a phone call away. Family are just a phone call away. Some of them, most of them probably. So, I don't know. Just hang on in there, guys. Hang in there. Be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be present. Be fully aware of the moment you're in. This moment. There's only one moment ever. The past is an illusion. The future is an illusion. It's not real. It's memories in your brain. The only thing that's real is this moment now. That's when you exist. All of your life has happened in the now. And the more you're aware of the now, of your awareness, be aware of your awareness, be aware of everything that you're feeling and experiencing, your emotions, your body, your environment, the feelings you have, your thoughts, the thoughts that you have. You aren't your thoughts. You're not your emotions. You are not those things. You are the awareness in which everything happens. Take it easy, guys. Be kind to yourself. Keep going. Right. I hope you enjoyed the Tars Henry Channel Show, episode 14. It was lovely to see you here. Thanks for coming, and I love you a lot. Take care, Ethan, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.
The Tars Henry Channel Show.
She's turned her back on me. Sulking. Look, I'm busy. I'm trying to...